percentages. Now you've all seen the sign for percentages. Pretty much tells you what it's about. It means out of 100. So if I have 23%, that means 23 out of 100. Or we write it as 23 over 100. So that's our first step, to convert a percentage to a fraction. So if I have 35%, to change that to a fraction, that's equal to 35 out of 100. Once you've got to this step, you just simplify it. So you see what number goes into the top and the bottom. We've done this when we did fractions. So in this case, 5 goes into the top 7 times, and 5 goes into the bottom 20 times. So our answer, or our simplified answer, is 7 over 20. If we want to convert a percent to a decimal, because we're dividing by 100, if you had a look at the last video, what we need to do is we move the decimal point, because we're actually dividing by 100, so we're moving our decimal point 2 places. So an example would be 46%, which really means 46 out of, or divided by 100, which we know we can write it that way. So we move the decimal point. Our decimal point is here, so we move our decimal point 2 places. So 46% can be written as 0.46. That's it as a decimal. Nothing too complicated at the moment. Next step, we want to convert a fraction to a percent. Now the easiest way to do this is to multiply your fraction by 100%. So if I have, because remember 100% is the same as 100 over 100, which is equal to 1 whole. So we can multiply anything by 1 whole. So if I put 1 over 8, that's my fraction, and I want to multiply it, if I want to turn that into a percentage, I multiply that by 100%, which is 100 over 1. That gives me 100 over 8, and I can look at, I can break this down. So 4 goes into that twice, 4 goes into that 25 times, so I get 25 over 2%. Okay, now that's a bit complicated, but how many times does 2 go into 25? It goes 12 times and a half, because we don't leave it as a fraction. That's a little bit more complicated, and you might need a bit more practice with that one. Now if we want to convert a decimal to a percentage, okay, remember we get from a percent to a decimal, we divide it by 100, so this time we're going to multiply by 100. So if we multiply by 100, if I have a decimal, so 0.812 is my decimal. To get it into a percentage, I want to multiply it by 100, so that will move my decimal point 2 places, so that will be 81.2, and that's my answer as a percentage. That was pretty quick, but you might just have to practice some of them, especially converting fractions to percentages.